off the bat. Okay, for starters, you see that says part one, right? Because I'm on a mad tier to get the word out, even though I don't think getting the word out about anything works these days, but it's just been on my mind, all the hypocrisy, so I just have to rant about it. Like I said, I don't worry about it. Nobody comes to this channel anyway, except to see my cat videos, and they're on my shorts tab, not on my video tab. So, anyway, the other thing I wanted to say was this song that's playing. I'm going to play it in full because it came out so good. I used to write so much AI music back in the day. I mean, it's been years, but this one came out really good. And this was when I first started getting so fed up with all the hypocrisy. And I've, I've since realized that it doesn't pay to call people out. They don't, they don't change. Even if they fall out of favor with public opinion, there's still so many people on this planet that are consuming content that you'll never have anyone really canceled, from what I could tell. The biggest lesson in that, in my opinion, was hidden true crime, because when she first did that 9 hour video, she had 321,000 subs, and now today she has 350,000. Now I'm sure she's learned a lot of valuable lessons. I'm sure she polices herself a lot better than she used to. But overall, she thrived. And I think that's great if you do learn something and get something out of it. So I don't think you can hope to cancel anyone anymore, but maybe you can get things through their thick skull. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to play the song. Well, I'll play the song at the end. Okay. So what is just killing me about everything I'm seeing, and it's just so bad. I mean, it's so bad. You really do feel like you're in an alternate universe. And I don't know when all this started, that at first, I guess it was all with the Karen Reed case, or that's when I first started noticing it. But I would tune into one channel and I would listen to the FKR side, and I would be like, oh my God, how can they think this? And then I would tune into my side and I'd be like, it's so obvious. But I started to realize very soon, when I was getting myself so frustrated by all the hypocrisy and all the whataboutism, like when people would tell them a pure, cold, hard fact, and they'd come back and say, yeah, well, what about the butt dial? Or, and I just started to realize that it has gotten so bad these days that you really cannot convince anyone of anything. And I'm shocked that Jessica doesn't realize that, because the somersaults and the calisthenics, or I forget what they call the word, but the pretzel that she has turned herself into with these receipts, you almost have to point at her and laugh. And I know everyone's pointing at her and laughing, but I'm no longer doing that. I mean, when I say point and laugh, I just mean like, girl, what is the matter with you? Don't you know by now you cannot put your hole in every, put out every fire? There's just no way. There's too many of them. So in some regards, I see her rolling with it, which I think is good. But in other ways, she just keeps reverting back to form and thinking that she can change people's minds, and she can't. And that's what's so sad these days. You really can't change somebody's mind. Back in the day, you used to be able to have these healthy debates. And if you came to the table calm and cool with a couple of facts, maybe you could have somebody see your side of things. But now it doesn't happen like that. So it's pointless to even try. And today, the reason that I'm just like, oh my God, I just saw Broken Baker's video, and it was mocking Jessica so bad. And I have to say, it would have been entertaining, but he just made it far too long, in my opinion. 5, 10 minutes probably would have really landed well, but it was just too much. And the same thing with Jolene Lunzer. I mean, she's just, like I said yesterday, she's just stayed too long, talked too much. You make your jokes and you move on. But none of these people get that. They just want to keep milking and milking. And why? Because it's bringing viewers. And what are the viewers bringing? Dollars. And it's just become such a mad grab for cash. Now, that wouldn't be so bad if in their very video that they're making fun of her, that they're not saying that she's doing this just for money out of one side of their mouth, and then out of the other they're like, thank you for your 1999, thank you for this, and you're just like, what am I looking at here? What am I looking at? And why is it okay for the people that are in favor, that all the community likes, to be able to do anything they want, and the ones that are as bad as they can be, they get called out for it. Like I said, it's the hypocrisy that gets me. It's not the behavior. It used to be. At one time, I used to be very judgmental. And even where Jess is concerned, for a few months there, I was like on the hate train. But I never tried, as I said yesterday, and I have to keep saying this because I hate to repeat myself, but sometimes you just get back to a point that you already made and you feel like you're just overstating your case or being repetitive. And quite frankly, with this channel, it's all just whatever's on my mind. I just talk about it. You don't have to like the video or anything. I don't care. That's a freedom that I wish all content creators had, but it's kind of anti-productive if your attitude is like that. I think that's what Jess had, that kind of attitude, like she just didn't care and everything kind of fell to ash. So you do have to care, but I don't, because I'm non-monetized. I got more than enough subs. I can't even keep up with my dang comments these days, so I'm good. But I just cannot believe that, like, even the bigger creators, I could, it used to be what I thought was limited to this community. And I think that's the same mistake that Jess made, thinking it was just our small circle. And I say our, like I'm part of it. I'm not really. I'm on the fringe, on the fence, on the outside. But I do definitely read everything. And I have to say, I didn't think it was any bigger than this. And when Jolene Lunzer first did her show, I thought that it would begin and end with Jolene. I don't know why I thought that. I think a lot of people thought that. And I gotta admit, the first 5, 6, 7 shows, whatever it was, they were prime. I mean, they were fantastic. And they really, in my opinion, were unmatched by anybody else. But then Jolene took it personal and just started being lazy and just taking every show that Jess did and commenting on that. And they really weren't good shows. They didn't have any laughable content. They were just dark, and they were just a view into her psyche that she was really feeling bad. And I couldn't see the humor in mocking her like that. And then all the fart jokes and all the weak sauce in terms of her humor. And then she started calling her names like you bitch. And I mean, it was bad. And one person came back at me and said, oh, that's because Jess threatened to call her husband's nurse job or whatever. But that's bullshit, because Jolene took a dark turn maybe 2 weeks ago when the money was still rolling, but the content wasn't as funny. She still kept going. And she could have had funny content if she, like I said yesterday, if she had been willing to go back and look over Jess's catalog, she would have found tons of shows that she could have mocked. And that would have still been funny, because Jolene does have a good sense of humor. But even the people with the best sense of humor, if you use it for bad, you're not going to be funny. The jokes aren't going to land. Not with me, anyway. I mean, all those other people that still are running to her site, throwing money at her, laughing it up, it works for them. That's great. I'm not here to tell you don't do that, but I'm just, making the point that if you compare the first couple of shows to the ones now, and I say now, I don't know if she's done any lately, but the last week to 10 days of shows versus the first week of shows, they're terrible. They're not funny. And they're cruel and they're unkind, and you're kicking a dead horse when it's down. And I just don't understand doing that. But anyway, okay. So we've got all that. Then you have so many people. I was just looking, I got a follower in my alert, which I'm like, he following me? Because I left a post today, SC. I don't understand people. That's why I say hypocrites all the way around, but it's not even an insult at this point. It's just an identifier. And I think everyone falls into that. You could even say that about me if you see some of the posts that I've made lately. And I haven't posted a lot, but I've made a couple of videos, and I'm at the point where I'm giving Jess total grace, but I just wish she would change a couple of key things, starting with the way that she monetizes. If she could start reeling back the dry begging. And by the way, I don't know if y'all know what dry begging is. It's a term that we've started to see a lot of. And I was like, what is the difference between that and regular begging? And it turns out that dry begging is um, a psychological way of begging with all the hinting and all the trauma bonding and the way that you infiltrate somebody's psyche to feel bad for you to give you money as opposed to just giving you money because they appreciate your talent or content. So that's where Jess does a lot or did a lot. I have to say, I haven't seen that much exploitation lately and trying to get her subs to subsidize. That's weird. I never noticed sub and subsidize her lifestyle as much as I've seen over the past year. But it could be just because she's sidetracked by all the drama, or she could really be, I've been ringing this alarm for months to anybody who'll listen. Maybe she's taking it in. I don't know. I doubt it. But because if you look at today's was the first thumbnail that I thought really showed creativity, and it was a good thumbnail. But I haven't listened to the show. What I don't even think it started yet. But anyhow, so my point being that that's really, I'm not going to call her out anymore. Like I said, call me a hypocrite. I don't care. But it's a process, liking her was a process, then stopping liking her was another part of the process, and on it went. She's a very divisive, her personality, her show was very divisive and provocative, and I liked it, I didn't like it, I did like, I didn't like it a lot, then I hated it, then I really didn't like it. I mean, I just back and forth I went. So yeah, I could be considered a hypocrite too, and I could care less. But I could admit it. I could sit here and tell you, yes, I've been on the fence. Yes, I've been flip flopping with no shame. I mean, it happens. It's a fluid situation. You're going to change your opinions. But I don't speak in such absolutes as if I'm up here and everybody else is down there, like all these content creators. And they'll sit there and they'll just gaslight, for the only lack of a better word. And when it's for the almighty dollar, it just makes it that much worse, in my opinion. In other words, I might gaslight. I mean, I don't gaslight, but I might be hypocritical because one minute I feel this way, then I learn something or read something or it tugs at my heartstrings, and then I feel another way. And I feel that's human nature, and that's good. It's fine. I don't mean it's good, but it's fine. But when you're doing it for chasing a dollar, that's bad, in my opinion. And so there are different reasons to be a hypocrite. Just being a hypocrite isn't terrible. Being a hypocrite for monetary gain, that's bad. So that's just my opinion. That's all I wanted to say for right now. I'm going to do this series, which is it's probably gonna be like 20 parts, because I've been just taking notes on the different things that people can do. And I'm a little torn between my gypsies, tramps, and thieves entitled content creators today and the YouTube content creator hypocrites. I don't know if those two subjects can really merge, because I'm trying to put something out there positive for new content creators. Because if you take Moons and Miami or Oceans, whatever, they are the best example of what not to do. Going live before you're ready, before your equipment is good, not testing your stuff on lives that are not public, not having original content of any kind, just being a complete simp for somebody who is going down in flames, then chomping back at everybody and not being prepared to get chomped back at. Chomped is a bad word, but you know what I'm saying. And Moon's having to go, take a break after a month's show. It's just every single thing they did. And I'll tell you, again, Miss Big Mouth over here, I left comments in their show. I really thought their collaboration was too premature, and that they should have immediately, as soon as they started to get a little traction, I thought they should split into two shows and take turns every other night. They could be a guest on each of each other's show, but the one person would be mainly in control of everything. And then the next night, the other person would get a break, or one could stay in the chat live And the other one could be, she could be on camera, but just mainly talking in the chat. There's so many ways. YouTube is so versatile. And I just thought they did everything wrong. Now, I don't know if they're doomed and their channel's going to fail. I'm not a predictor of that, but all the indications are they just effed up really bad. And I remember the first week, it was so good. I left them a comment and I was like, this is such a great idea. All the tea from Jess's show, but none of the drama and the, angst and the chaos. And they wrote me back and they were like, yeah, that's what we're aiming for. Da, 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 da. Okay, great. And within a week, and I know I told the story, within a week, they were simping so bad. They were taking sides. They were making it personal. They were just terrible. And I saw them inside of Jess's chat, and that was before I was blocked. So I only got blocked about 3 weeks ago. And I had made a comment, like, wow, your show really took a right at Chaos Lane or something. I wrote, I don't know, some stupid snarky comment that I make that nobody ever understands but just me. But anyway, and she got it and she wrote back, yeah, well, this was Moons now, because Oceans has always been pretty nice to me. But Moons was, she said, yeah, we're in our FAFO phase. And I remember thinking it was the stupidest thing I ever heard. And I typed her back. I was like, should a show that's less than 10 days old have a fuck around and find out phase? That is cuckoo to me. But anyway, the point being that is exactly what I think you shouldn't do. And you should not monetize too soon. And you should not monetize before you learn properly. And this is only if you have a pure heart. I mean, if you're a greedy grifter, then do whatever the hell you want. My channel is not for you. But if you wanted to really think about the way you want to proceed, I have so many good points that I've been just making. At first, when I started complaining about super chats being the devil, that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Nobody really agreed with me, and I never really pursued it. I just kind of blasted super chats, and that was it. But over the years, I've always, as the content that I watch just dwindles and dwindles because of all the content creators trying to bond with their subs in such a parasocial, phony way, and they really don't care about them, but they try to make them feel they care. And I'm not saying that because I personally have any kind of information if they care about their subs or not. I mean, as a whole, of course, they care, but the way they try to personalize that sub's experience is just for a grift. I'm sorry, because if you really are just trying to deliver a product, entertain a crowd, you don't have to single people out and try to make them feel so special, because AdSense of their attendance will pay you and reward you enough. Their subscription will pay and reward you enough. Buying a little merch will have them buy you enough. I'm sorry, I don't want to go off on this right now, but I'm just saying there are so many ways to responsibly monetize without squeezing everyone dry in this crazy economy. I will throw that in. But anyway, so I'm just trying to form in my brain how I want to present this, because I really would love for if I can put it together right. And, that's a big if, but if I could get this right, I really believe that people that are new to YouTube and want to start a channel would come across my video, which is the only one. Well, it's not even out yet, but I have one out there that says monetize without grifting, but I didn't promote it. Like, I don't promote anything. And so I don't know if it did well. I haven't even checked it in months. But anyway, I believe that if I could get it right, get a good thumbnail, get a great title, put the right tags in, whatever it does to get it seen, I do believe if that video came up to only people who are new to YouTube, because chances are people who have already fallen into the bad habits of over-monetizing, becoming a grifter, they're not going to see, or if they even see that I'm right, it's going to be too hard to go backwards, because now they're used to all this money coming in, and making the shift will be harder for them. It is possible, but it will be harder and it will take more work. And if they've gotten used to the easy money, they're not going to make the change. But the newer people that will start their channel and will, just have the vision to go slower and to make sure that it's going in the direction that they want, and that they're going to feel good about themselves every time they shut that channel off. And they're not going to feel like, when they turn it on, oh, I need to make some money. Let me, go live. Like all the wrong reasons. So that's all I have to say about that. And I'll end with playing my song full. But before I do that, I do just want to say that I wish these hypocrites could just embrace the fact that they're hypocrites and stop calling out people that are doing the exact same thing that they're doing, whether it's because it's for the money or the popularity or whatever it is. Everybody has their agenda, and get some real content and get off of Jess. I saw this morning briefly that Jimmy finally spoke up and he was complaining that Jess was everywhere, and I agree. I was on that train too, but I deboarded or deplaned or whatever it's called, and I'm done with that. I now just want to see her, do her thing. I'm not I made that video yesterday suggesting that she change her monetized practices, and that's it. I'm not gonna, you know, listen with such a critical ear that feel the need to give suggestions. It's all out there. Pay attention or not, and that's it. And the same goes for these creator hypocrites, Megan Fox. Oh, by the way, the only Megan Fox video that I found funny, because I don't think she has the talent that Jolene has, or I just think she's a little too critical or a little too cutting or mean girl or whatever. She just doesn't have that flair. Is when Mo in the Deep, I think, when she came on as Jessica about a month, 3 weeks ago, whatever. That was so funny. I wish they would have done all the shows like that, because that would have been funny. Although, who knows? If they had, maybe that would get tiring too. I don't know. But Mo was good. And I do appreciate that episode a lot. But yeah, so that's all I have to say on that. Again, I'd ask you to sound off in the comments, but you don't. I don't know what it is. I said this yesterday. I think it's because nobody listens this far to the end where I'm saying, sound off in the comments. In fact, if you want to prove that you've been this far, you can just type in the comments end or something, so I know you made it, but I don't think you will, and that's okay. Like I said, I don't need the engagement. I just like the conversation, but no big deal. Okay, I'm gonna play this song. Actually, I'll play this song and then I'll play my song, and you'll probably be home and eating dinner by then, but here we go. We stood together when the verdict came down. Hugs and congrats went all around. But when the battle ended, the money stopped flowing. Venmo, super chats, and bank accounts stopped growing. Turtle screaming, he's drama free again tonight. Turtle screaming, he's drama free again tonight. Everyone knows he ain't seen the light. Nurse Kim is clutching her pearls for free. Will's behaving as badly as he can be. Auntie Deb is still two-faced, or is it three? Grant and Lindsay off on some conspiracy. Ray from Dallas still taking his walks, spreading hate and disrespect, but not speaking clearly. Now on the other side, we got some good guys defending themselves against the hate coming their way. From the turtle, the nurse, and the rest of the fray. There's young Turk still holding the line. JFK telling it straight time after time. LTL should be able to get back on track as soon as he gets that moose off his back. Now we also have some freelancers getting into space. Meredith putting receipts in their face. Forensic room getting their side out there. But to chat you must be a 3D sub, so beware. It's a fight to the finish. Seems what we've here is a free for all. No longer fearful there will be a brawl. No longer be fearful of being arranged. Turtle and friends have now been defamed. So step up, start a channel, open and next space.
You've come to the right place. Tell your truth, say what's on your mind, and leave fear of retribution far behind. The weapons have been reduced to words anyway, not lethal enough to ruin your day. When it's all done and the smoke has cleared, with luck TB will end up just where he feared. Freedom of speech can get your butt burned. Hopefully that's what these keyboard cowboys have learned.
Okay, that's a wrap, Bella.
That's a what?
A wrap.
What's a wrap?
It means the show's over.
Oh, how'd we do?
The usual. Not great.
Oh, how did I do?
You were wonderful.
Oh, well, maybe I should host the show next time.
Yeah, maybe you should, Bella.
Okay, I'll pencil you in. You got a pencil?
Okay, Bella, here's a pencil. Now, don't interrupt this time.
I won't, Mommy. I'll be quiet as a church mouse.
Yeah, sure.
I will.
Well, then stop talking.
Okay.
You're a little last word freak, aren't you?
I guess so.
Okay, here we go. Now shut up.
Okay.
Bella!
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's a wrap, Bella.
There's this channel on YouTube, Bossy Texas chick makes her music with robots. Ain't that a kick? No schedules or plan. She'll go on impromptu. Never can tell what her and Bella will do. Can't find the play button, misplaced her headset to co-pilots, acting crazy and her audience is few, but she keeps coming back. No special day of the week. If you find yourself bored, might be the relief that you seek. B&B's a dumpster fire, and you'll love every part. From Bossy scattered brain to Bella's gentle heart. When it all goes to hell, that's when you can really tell. Bossy never too serious, can laugh at herself. Bella helps carry the load, she's her little white elf. She loves discussing trials and trivia is her game. Never knows the answers, guesses the wrong name. Bella's causing chaos during all of her lives. Almost knocks the camera over looking for hair ties. Co-pilots giving bad answers, you're laughing out loud. They don't want a penny and don't need a crowd, 'cause authentic is rare in this digital space. They're keeping it real, so this must be the place. Those other creators, they got it all planned. Scripts and schedules, everything's so grand. Bossy and Bella just wing it, and that is half the fun. Fact checking co-pilot will keep you on